what I why I created angel circles here. How do I do this? All right, just had a little issue here. So why I created these events is to bring people together who are interested in working with angel energy, people that I've met and have done readings for already. And so we can go deeper. And when I feel that it's called that we need a little extra support with what's going on in the world. And I'm going to say for myself, I've probably been closer to, I'm not going to say depression, but more upset than I've ever been in my whole life with what's going on in our country and in the world. But what I've learned is that I could ask the question, why is this happening? And it's always about an opportunity to up level and to connect deeper into my faith. So how I work with angels, it's not necessarily religion, though if you already follow a religion, I would just say continue to do that. But working with angel energy is basically inviting in positive, invisible helpers. So no matter what you're dealing with, it's going to appear a little bit easier. So each of us has a different way of looking at what's going on in the world right now, but I'd say most of us have an agreement that we're going through like there's words I could call it, a major sickness or a major transformation. What's not working that has to show up in order for us to create a new way of being. One of the people that I follow is from this book, The Golden Future by Diana Cooper. And it might seem kind of really esoteric for some people, but the principles have been around for thousands of years. And what's happening is that when we use these really simple tools, you can achieve great results. And what I mean by great results are, the very first reason I got into angel work was I had a mammogram that needed a second opinion. I thought I had cancer. This was like 13 years ago, and I was really afraid because I'd never really been sick before. And as I went to the second opinion, because the first I had to find out for sure whether I had any cancer, I got to see women sitting in the waiting room, and I got to see what full terror really was. There are people there who had it already, women who had it already, it come back. And I had tools at that point. I was already using angel techniques. So I was, even though I was nervous, I knew that my techniques worked. What did they do? Because I didn't drink alcohol or take drugs anymore to like make myself calmer. I used these techniques and it did calm me down. Was I 100% calm? No. But for the most part, I was able to see the light, see hope, even though I was going in for maybe a probable, no, not a great prognosis. So I'm laying there on the doctor's table and she's doing the ultrasound and everything. And I said, you know, if I'm clear, it really would behoove me to teach people these basic, simple techniques. Very simple. You know, someone would be teaching pranayama, breathing exercises, but I said, if I could teach people the simple thing about connecting with Archangel Michael, how I've used it, I mean, it was huge because I really felt light. I felt calm. So indeed, I was clear, I was fine. And that began me thinking about having a podcast and teaching people how to clear anxiety in their body. So mind you, I married a chiropractor. Chiropractic is a great way to have the body's nervous system relax. After you've been adjusted, you actually experience the flow of energy coming from your brain to the rest of your body. So when that flow happens, not only are you calmer, your organs function better. So you have that balance. Now we're living in a time right now where there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of stress. Every day there's a new thing. And I'm going to say those of you who are here today, you're open to learn something new to help you, I'm going to say, navigate these times. And even if you're in Australia, all this is affecting the whole world. And from the highest spiritual point of view, it's not a bad time. It's just a changing time. It's a major changing time. But what's showing up is a lot of nonsense, a lot of ridiculousness, a lot of things that can distract us, affect our ability to focus on why we're here, what we're here to do. And on my birthday today, I was born on this day, and I'm going to assert that each one of you was born on a day, and you were born into a role that you were going to fulfill in this life. The fact that you're here, you might have a sense that it's connected to energy, spirituality, maybe angels, but you're more than just, I'm going to say, the average worker, one of your colleagues. You probably have a sense that there's more going on than meets the eye. I call it the invisible helpers. So one of the things that I attest to is that at my age 71, I haven't really had any health issues. And one of the things I've used is angel therapy, angel visualizations, working with Archangel Michael, Raphael. Those are the two main ones. And learning more from Diana Cooper here, simple shielding techniques. We're talking block the negative energy. And it sounds, whatnot, but it literally works. Blocking the negative energy. And every day, clearing that energy. And it doesn't take a lot. Like right before we started, I burned one leaf of sage. You don't need a whole forest. You don't need a major thing. But it's these tiny energy hygiene methods that you can do will keep most of the overwhelm from happening. Now, if we experience overwhelm, that is possibly, how do I say, your personal assignment. Like 5 months ago, we had tenants move upstairs from us. We rent. And you guys, we've rented for 34 years, 35 years. And I've never had noisy people above me. I have never lived in my life with people above me walking around. So it sounds like it's a small thing, but for me, I was ready to jump out of a window. I never felt so awful. My quiet, serene space that I've had forever turned into this, am I in a war shelter? And I keep telling myself, I'm not in a war. I'm lucky for that. My house didn't burn in LA. I'm lucky for that, or get flooded with all the water events that are happening in the world. But the noise and the battery of sounds of running and these lovely family, but the kids, they should be living someplace else where the kid could be free to do all that, right? So I only mentioned that because it really made me near depressed, because I felt hopeless. Like, we can't move right now. They won't move. Landlord won't listen to me. Like, I'm embarrassed to say, I've caught myself crying a few times. I felt utterly hopeless, because being in a situation where I felt I've never felt this way before, where like there's nothing I can do. And this made me think also, it's like a mini version of what some of us are going through. Maybe some of you are going through with what's happening with our government, with the policies, with the changes, with things that are happening. And it's like a slow drip, or it's a sound that gets louder and louder. First, it's this happening to this group of people. Now we're going to do this to this people. Now we're going to do this to this people. Now we're going to cut this out. And it's like the drip effect of like, do I just lean towards being hopeless and depressed, or what? So I prayed on it, and my angels basically said, one, about what's happening in the politics in the world is that they don't know not what they do. So they're going through their karma. Our karma is at the effect of their choices. So what do we get to do is we get to be responsible for our karma, rather than what they're doing is being like a train. They're just going with theirs and creating more. But we actually get to break the karmic cycle. We get to break the karmic cycle. We get to break our ancestral patterns of fear and depression and hopelessness. And each one of us, if we're experiencing any of that right now, and it feels like we're up against the wall, like, what do I do? What the angels have helped me to see is that I am way more powerful than I've ever realized. We are way more powerful as human beings connected with spirit. And that's what's coming to the surface. We are way more powerful than their nonsense. We are way more powerful than any of their agendas and everything. But if we get hooked into fear, then we become part of their play, right? And what I've been learning from my own teacher is that although it looks bleak on the outside, which it does every day, it's like another circus, it's actually the quotient of people who are more in the light and spreading light has already shifted. It's already shifted. It's like at 53%. We're already higher. So what you've noticed is that people are speaking up. I'm going to talk about your solar plexus today. I just did a podcast on the throat chakra. So if you listen to that, you're going to hear the different chambers and lessons of where the power is in and around your throat and speaking up and creating what you want, because we're not victims unless we choose that. And part of our choosing often comes from our past, comes from our families, their personalities, their behaviors. It comes from ancestral patterns. So the angels are saying that this is the time of us breaking through and completing those ancestral patterns. So I hope that could help you see that there is hope right now. But the task is, we're on the surfboard and there are waves, and we just got to keep riding the waves. We just have to keep riding the waves. And every day there'll be something that shows up, like this issue with my landlord. I may take him to court. And people say, how can you take someone to court who has a child? You know, you never win if there's a family ahead of you, above you that has a child. I am so inspired by my angels that I could take this on. Like, I will not move right now. I'm just not going to move. And you guys, about a month ago, I was like crying, saying, we got to move, Lou. I told my husband, I think we just got to move, you know, and because of my health. So I share that because the stress of these issues, these political issues, are impacting us on different levels. One of my friends in my neighborhood is a refugee from Ukraine. And at first, she was feeling positive about her ability to stay here and then eventually go back and visit her family there. But what's up with the website right now is zilch. There's nothing. It's as if she may have to leave in April and never be able to come back. I mean, all of a sudden, the jarring effect of these ridiculous decisions is impacting everybody. So what I let her know is that, one, each and every one of you, whatever you're up to and concerned with, there's a community. So I told her to get in touch with her community people here in New York. She says, well, I'm not a citizen, but I said, well, we're here to protect you. The council people are here to protect you. The groups are here to protect you. You're not alone. So whatever you're dealing with, find your community. Mine may be, where I live, is the senior community. Do we have rights of people putting people above my head, right? I mean, be willing to do anything and everything to protect, I'm going to say, your health. Because if you don't have your health, you don't function. They get you. That's when the outside negative sources they're going to swallow you up or swallow your family up. So we cannot be responsible for everybody around us. But if we can take control of ourselves, meaning, can you become healthier? Can you use these techniques to clear the fear out of your body every day, right? Can you do simple things to really maintain your energy? And that's how the angels can help us. And then lastly is that it's not an easy time, and just being able to accept that reality. It's not easy. My landlord watched one of my videos on YouTube. He goes, oh, you're a spiritual teacher. Why don't you just be nice to your neighbors? I go, well, actually, you don't know what I do. I teach people to call each other on their bull, the BS. I said, I'm not just telling everybody to be kind to people who step over you, be kind to those who, there's a place for that type of energy. Absolutely. But then there's a time for what we want right now. And where was the main thing that I heard today? This is what I heard for the angels say. Take it as you want to. Make yourself get arrested. Now, for many of us who are empaths and kind people, we don't want to cause trouble. But it's like push the envelope. We are in a time we need leaders. So whether it's going to be you or in your prayers, but consider that you and I may have more abilities than we've ever known, using our voice, using our anger, our passion to lead others. Nobody really wants that assignment. It's like, I just want to be peaceful and live in the light. And that's great too. But some of us are here to help transform and show others that they have a right. Like I had shared with my Ukrainian neighbor, she has a right to ask for protection. When ICE came into her apartment building yesterday morning at 8 a.m., she has the legal documents, but they're banging on her door. The police are banging on their door. So this is right next door to where I live. So I say that because what's happening here in Queens, there's an effect happening to Ohio or Texas or to Australia. It's happening, this type of really patriarchal, old energy of trying to get stuff done, trying to make people afraid. So how do we, I don't know if you're in hope yet, because what I discovered with my friend is that she's not hopeful. She doesn't believe things will end up being fair. I have an experience in my body that things are going to work out. Even when this past election, I had a feeling things are going to work out. So how things went for us right now is part of how things are going to work out. So that's the news. It may not be what you want to hear, but we have to go through this muck. We have to learn how to do your Qigong breathing and learn how to blow out the dark smoke. And, for me, sometimes it looks like tar coming out of me when I'm, doing the breathing exercise. I'm literally blowing out my negative energy. I'm blowing out whatever is there in me. Sometimes it looks like the Wizard of Oz, like chaotic houses and stuff. It's just coming out of me. But there are simple techniques that we can do to move the breath and breathe that out. All right. So what's happening right now is a huge transformation based on what was supposed to happen thousands of years ago. It's part of the plan. I'm not saying that this so-called president is great. I'm just saying he's there as an energy that needs to come up, then to be transformed and out. All right, you guys. So we use all of our spiritual tools to maintain our health, our hope. Not everybody is going to want to get on that ride. There are many people who are addicted to suffering. I know I was many years ago when I was drinking alcohol in my 20s and early 30s. I did not know that I was addicted, not just to alcohol. I was addicted to worry. I was addicted to suffering. I was addicted to being hopeless. And that little change for me gave me a complete different way of looking at life. Like I just switched channels. But then when you have hope and then you see, like I said, I feel blessed that I didn't have the complete atrocity of all the fires or this or that. I've had things happen in my life, but each of us are different in the manner and our sensitivities of how we react to things happening, right? So there's hope if you're willing to take it on and try it on. There is definitely hope, but it's going to be a choice. Just as we choose, we don't even know that we're doing it, but we may very well be choosing our state of being, maybe even choosing how this world is showing up around us. So I'm saying it is not easy. As my teacher says, just stay in the light every day, stay focused in the light. And that's not easy for me to do. I'll be honest. I've got a lot of clearing still to do, and I'm reacting to how my friends are being treated or this is happening. But I have to always go back to, where is the golden light? What is the energy hygiene things that I'm doing every day? Limit the amount of watching the news and just go from there. And you can still have miracles happen. I didn't think of sharing my angel circle. I did with my neighbor, and by chance she saw my birthday today, and she showed up with 5 dozen roses for me, because I've never received, I thought it was from Oprah, I've never received 5 dozen different shades of pink roses. I thought it was for my husband, but he's not that romantic. But it was like, she came over with her white cat from Ukraine, and I took her on as a friend just to reassure her that everything's going to be all right. I did my best, And for the most part, she didn't want to talk to anybody. But that was my gift from her. So to me, that was like an earth angel message. I have pink roses all around my house. I had to put them in 5 different vases, right? So I share that because I was ready not to do this today, because I felt so depressed about my living situation. And it's not just my living situation, is that I am so sensitive to sound. I can hear sound a mile away. And the more psychic I get every day, I can hear even more sounds. I'm almost ready to have to go live in the forest, in the mountains. But, and it just made me depressed. So I'm glad that I pushed through and that I'm here today. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the 3 cards that I picked for you from Archangel Michael. And the first one is that your loved ones are safe. So if you're considering your families or anybody else around you, let go of your fear and worry for your loved ones. I am looking after them. That's what we've been going through. The present one is deeper insights are at hand. Your overall plan is good, but the details need work. Reflect before moving forward. And I think some of the information that I'm going to help give you today is some new details that you could use. I really feel that we're just in a new energy, totally new energy. And those of us who've been on some type of spiritual path are really open, and we can feel it all. And we just can't use the old toolkit, the old spiritual toolkit. There's more to use, and there's more to utilize. I've got like 10 crystals around me, anywhere from an amethyst skull, I got into those. I have my turquoise to help empower my throat chakra. And I have my trusted Lemurian crystal. Now, you don't have to have huge, monster, expensive ones. One small piece can actually give you all the energy that you need. And this guy to help for protection, any of the dark hematite, so they're subtle. The energies and tools that we can utilize are subtle, but really powerful. And I say this because it goes over the head of a lot of the people that are creating a lot of chaos in this world. It's really, and that's what's great about being working a spiritual path. We're really under the radar. I am, because I call it Calvano coaching. I don't even call myself an, angel intuitive out loud. I'm a coach. And then the card for right now, the near future, is Archangel Michael is with you now. Even though you can't see it, I'm actively working on this situation. I'm here and helping you. So I feel that is for our political situation. I feel like personally, whatever you're going through, really take a look at how embedded are you in fear? And that's part of the ancestral patterning. It's not just from this situation that's happening today. It's what's been probably happening for many lifetimes. But currently we're in the pivotal one. And I'd rather take what's going on now in the insanity than having a meteorite hit our planet or having a quick ice age, like when all the dinosaurs died. We're not going to have that. we're having major nuisances, major unfortunate climate change situations. But what I'm not saying be grateful for what you have going on, but in a way, embrace the fact that, like my personal situation, and my husband's going to have back surgery in 3 weeks. He's going to be all right, but it's a little worrisome to have my main breadwinner have a back surgery. He works on other people's backs as a chiropractor, but we suspect, we think it's all going to work out, but you know, it's kind of scary. Everything could change. So each of your situations that you're dealing with is really part of an intricate, perfect plan. And even this ridiculous thing, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I also saw parts of myself that I kind of didn't recognize, that what I was willing to do to get them out. I'm not going to even mention it, how, you know, I was so ready to do whatever I could to get them out. But the angels are with us as energy and really great support, angelic beings. So I'm going to go through right now the 12 chakra, immediate, simple clearing that you can do every day, connection. You may have experienced it with me already. If you want more of this, I think I have a longer one on my YouTube channel, or even if you are ready to go on the highest level, an intricate level of this 12 chakra, I highly recommend Diana Cooper's book or her YouTube channel, and any of her courses. They're really inexpensive. We get like 1,000 people that all come together on a Zoom, and she teaches these really advanced Atlantean techniques for connecting to everything that's around us, above us, and bring it into our body. And she's in her 80s, and I swear she continues to get younger and younger. And what she talks about is the crystalline body, and that's a whole nother topic. Basically, you do experience yourself getting lighter and lighter. Now, I'm not a vegan yet. I tried that. It didn't work for me, but I am looking at how, I'm just mentioning that some people are already on that path and they can do it. I wasn't healthy when I was doing that. But the crystalline body is basically becoming so light that it's as if, I mean, really nothing affects you. You become a master. So I really want to acknowledge that if you're here today, you're ready to experience transmissions. What do I mean transmissions? When you pray and connect or ask your angels to work with you, be open to see what happens, see what you feel, what comes into your thoughts, your heart, even your ears, right? Know that you're connected. Every day, trust that you're connected, and start to see these patterns and really begin to witness yourself as someone who's here not only to experience life in a more joyful manner, but that your energy is here to impact your community, your family, your state, your country, right? There's a possibility of that also, without you being an angel teacher or whatnot, but everything in and who you are, what you make, what you're selling, who you are, could very well be part of that energy shift. All right. So I hope what I'm transmitting is this: we're not just a human being, we could go through life being at the reaction of everything that's happening and just live that way. And it will wipe you out. It will stress you out. It will make you ill until you find a way to transmute it and start to see, yes, these things are happening, but I'm going to choose how I'm going to react. And again, we can't do this alone. You want to find your community. You want to find your group, your tribe. It could be 3 people. It could be online. It could be whatnot, but you want to find who else is going through what you're going through. Who else could I speak with, be with, have an energy exchange with? Because we're actually teaching people how to do that, because the majority of people who are not are those who are so submerged that they don't know who they are, that they follow like this great leader who's so filled with BS but that they get their power from these fake leaders because they don't know who they are, right? They just don't know. So their ancestral pattern is to, daddy will fix it. You know, this guy will fix it. Even my parents are following him. And that's an interesting thing. But I can let them be who they are. They're 91. They're probably not going to change. And if I told them what I thought, they'd probably have heart attacks. So that's let them be happy with seeing what they see. So know that we're way more powerful than them. And what we want to do is find a way to channel out our suffering, our pain, you know, letting it go, whether it's crying, whether learning how to breathe it out, you know, whether getting some body work, a massage or acupuncture or chiropractic to help move the energy. That's all those things do, is it moves the energy. Otherwise, that energy stays in our head or in our throat or in parts of our body, right? So we let other people support us. All right, so I'm gonna right now do the meditation. And it's just very short. So you can take a moment. I'll take some water here. So this is called Everyday Connecting with Your Monad. It's a very simple framework outline. More in depth, you can go look at what Diana Cooper has to teach. But the basic thing is this: where you're sitting right now, you can take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Take a moment and connect to below your feet into the earth. It's called the Earth Star Chakra. So you're extending from below your feet into the earth. And from there, move the energy up to the base of your spine. And this is where you are divinely supported. And this base chakra is also, it's spinning just like the earth chakra. So the base chakra is the bottom of your spine. We move the energy up to your sacral chakra, and that's also spinning in a beautiful pink light. Your reproductive areas then move up to your solar plexus. That's where we have our self-worth and confidence. The energy moves up to your heart. It's where we have the codes of love spinning. And then we move up to our throat chakra that holds the codes of truth and honor and courage and strength. Then we move up past the throat to the third eye, which is the codes of enlightenment, abundance, and psychic abilities. So we're basically moving the energy all the way up. And then we go to the crown chakra. So we moved it up here, and that holds the energy of the cosmic connection. And then we move above the head, and that's the causal chakra. It holds peace and angelic connection. And then we move up to the next chakra above your head, and that's the soul star chakra. And that holds information and wisdom from your soul. And then we go up towards the stellar gateway, and that's the main access to all the information that's going to come down for you through that gateway and come down through those chakras all the way down into your heart. And from your heart, we see the energy that you've connected with expand and radiate out from you into at least a 15-mile direction. Now, you may only need to do that once, or maybe you might want to do it 3 times a day. But basically, you're connecting from the earth star, moving the energy up all the way through your body, reaching up beyond your head, up to the stellar gateway, connecting with that energy, bringing that energy down into your heart area, and then having that move out. It's very simple, but it will ground you, which is one of the things that we need to do every day. Simple grounding. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to go ahead and move to, because I spoke a lot today, is protecting your energy. So one of the things that I do, if I want to, what is, shield myself. I still live in New York City, so I'm around a lot of people, a lot. And I find that when I do this, it makes me feel more at ease and peaceful. So say you're dealing with stuff that you're thinking about that's going on in the world, but you put on these shields, it tends to soften everything, because we are, as empathic beings, we tend to be like sponges. There's a lot of energy moving around. So some of the despair and upset and hopelessness that I'm even feeling maybe very well be coming from my neighbors, because they're probably undocumented immigrants right now. So know that what you're going through, you might be picking up other people's energy too, adding to your own. So this is one of the things that I do is this. It's called the Triple Ascension Flame. Again, in this book that I highly recommend. She has it on audio. You can listen to her read it. So you want to cover yourself with these flames. It's not like you're going to feel a burn, but if you could actually see what a flame would look like, it's flickering and there's color. So here we have in threes. When you do the three together, it adds an added strength. And it gives you a power burst and an ascension acceleration. And why do we want ascension acceleration? Because whatever you're going through is part of your own personal up-leveling, your own personal getting to the next level of mastery. And it could look like, again, the deepest hopelessness, deepest fear. That's basically your test, your test. So here are the three flames that I use, and I'm using this at least once a day. The first flame is the golden crested flame. So think gold. And the golden crested flame is one of the most beautiful, powerful energies. So it is held by Jesus. Now, Jesus in the sense of not related to the church. We're doing pure master right now, who is the bringer of cosmic love. The golden crested flame raises your frequency and touches you with wisdom. The Christ light within it protects your energy fields, heals you, and bathes you in unconditional love. And at this time, it can purify you right down to a cellular level. So just visualizing gold light around you can really help clear any of these negative energies, negative thoughts that you may be having. Then we layer it with the next color, which is purple, lavender, violet. It's the violet flame. And Saint Germain and Archangel Zadkiel holds the violet flame. So you can go with a lilac color, or you can do the gold and silver violet. Right now, I'm just going straight violet. Just keep it simple. All right. So lavender, a lighter flame may work for you, however you are resonate with color, right? So that's the second layer. And you guys, I use that like a shower. If I'm feeling I need to clear the negativity from me, and that includes feeling depressed, hopeless, fearful, violet flame, clear me. And it's done like that. The violet flame, clear me. And then we add white. So we have the gold, the violet, and now white. And it's the pure white flame of Atlantis. And here, when you invoke it, it purifies you. And why, again, do we want to be purified? Because that releases the fear, the anger, any lower emotions that wants to keep us down, hold us down, right? So here, when you invoke it, it purifies you. It holds keys and codes of Atlantis that can light up your energy fields that you're ready to bring forward. So each and every one of you may very well have talents and skills that are ready to come forward at this time. Like what time? Now. This time they're ready to come forward. And that could look like being able for me to lead a tenant strike, rent strike with my whole neighbors. It could be me changing the theme of my podcast to be more political. I mean, that's my choice right now. So those are skills, those are talents, and it could be, even more. So this flame also protects you from the effects of any lower energies you may be attracting, especially from Atlantean times. So some of these characters that we're dealing with right now in our lives that are making our lives miserable, they're trying to make us miserable, very well may be people we knew in the past in Atlantis. So it makes sense that, okay, they're here again in the guise of looking like these politicians, wanting to hold you and I back one more time. But we're not going to let that happen this time. So we're going to use some of these subtle techniques to clear and energize us so that we can do what we need to do. The biggest revolutionary thing that we can do right now is to be joyful. Find our joy, even in the midst of this amount of chaos. That is revolutionary. And it just has to be the tiniest possibility of it. And if you're not ready for it, it's okay, but know that it exists in you, the golden light, these flames, the gold, the violet flame, and the white flame of Atlantis, they're part of who we are. It's our inheritance to use this, right? So, first call in the Christed flame, let it come down through your body and fill your aura. And this raises your frequency and protects your energy fields. Then you can safely bring the violet flame down into each of your chakras. And when you invoke these flames together, you can use the raw power of the violet flame alone, or use these three together. Again, going through the stellar gateway, the soul star, the causal, the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, all the way down your body into the earth. So we're doing simple things of moving energy and connecting with this power that's been around and is going to be around forever. Again, it's under the radar of what's going on in the world. The main thing the energies around us want us to be is to fall. All right. So then we have the white flame of Atlantis, and then we place that slowly over the two. And then you basically just relax for a moment. But that all could be done like in a minute. So it's not like it's going to take a 30-minute, 1-hour yoga class. This is just an instantaneous thing you can do right before you go to bed. 1, 2, 3. The other thing I do is I call in the archangels to protect my house in front of me and all around me. However that occurs for you, the archangels, they could be 6 feet tall, they could be 200 feet tall. Then I bring in the dragons with their fire dragons, believe it or not, to burn away any negativity that wants to approach the house. Or even for you, when you're working or you're walking down the street, you feel a little need of protection, ask your fire dragon just to be around you. And basically, he opens his mouth and he just thrusts out the fire all around you. And that's like a great protection for the New York City subway. And the other one I do is the diamond with Archangel Gabriel. You visualize yourself sitting in a huge diamond that's faceted. And that diamond enclosure protects you of absorbing negativity. I use the word negativity for all the nonsense going on in the world, right? So when you do the simple releasing and clearing and layering of energy, it sounds like not very much, but I ask you to try it. Say you're feeling like just hopeless, like, then I ask the violet flame to burn that away. Completely depressed, I don't know whatever's going to happen upstairs, what's my life, I ask the violet flame to just burn that away. So all I'm talking to my hands, but I'm really saying the energy, move it out. So you and I have the ability to attract more garbage into our aura. We also have the ability to push it out. We have the ability to do that. Each of you have the ability to do that. And again, these are powers. One day when they find out, they'll realize that I don't think they could ever figure it out because we're doing it in silence. We're like doing it telepathically. You could do it without saying a word. You are energizing yourself, sending this energies. You can send them to family members to heal them. If their own angels, their spirit is open to being healed, they will accept it. There are friends and families who are not open. That's part of their karma right now. You know, we don't judge them for that. That's just the way it is. But we can send it. Like I send the violet flame to my parents every night, even though they're, you know, they're opposite in my political choice, you know, but I can still protect them and my brothers. And all of that can be done like within 2 minutes, you know, send the energy. As I intend to do it, the energy is sent. So I'm hoping that makes sense. I didn't get to the whole solar plexus that I wanted to do. I think I'll do my podcast on that. But our energy right now is coming from the solar plexus. So mind your gut, meaning watch what you're eating, watch what you're feeling, see if you can learn how to breathe deep into your belly. You know, it's that whole thing about breathing in and let your belly like really extend and come out. Maybe learn about Qigong breathing, which is about learning to like bring the energy up from below your feet. Like I taught you, connecting to below your feet and bringing that energy up all the way, connecting to the stellar gateway and pushing it all out through your mouth. So you can literally, with your hands, pull the energy up from the earth, and it goes all the way up to the top beyond you, to the stellar gateway. It connects with the good energy up there and brings it down, and it helps you release it out of your auric field. You can take a yoga class online to learn more about that. I have a great yoga studio nearby that I can walk to that we do that, but it's a real simple thing. I'm telling you, you're using your hand and literally you're pulling the energy up, and you're like, you know, you're with your throat chakra and your stomach, your solar plexus, you're blowing that out. Those ancestral patterns and images of negativity, despondency, depression literally is leaving your body when you do that. All right. So breath work is super important. Learning something about breathing right now. You don't have to be perfect in your choice of foods and everything, but you and I know when you eat certain things, you feel not so great. When you eat other things, you feel a little better and more positive. So you might want to try to entertain more live foods. But the number one thing is our head, is our mind, the collector, what we focus our eyes on, attracting those negativities with our eyes and our ears and holding on to that, right? So the angels help us to release that, just release it. And I'm available also for, you know, if you haven't had a one-on-one session with me, we do like an hour, sometimes 90 minutes together. And I can do some of these techniques with you also. But again, if I didn't cover everything that I wanted to teach you, I recommend her. She's very advanced, but it's kind of like this. Read 2 pages and just let it settle into you like energy, and don't worry about it. It'll start working its way into your body, mind, spirit. So if you have any questions, you can ask me by email, because we have to close at 8. I didn't do everything that I wanted to do, but mostly I wanted to let you know that you and I have the ability to triumph over this time of tremendous change and tremendous agitation, right? And we can be the ones that have the peace and the knowingness that everything's going to be all right. And it does not take away from the fact some of us may have to get arrested. I want to say that some of us may have to cause good trouble Some of us may very well be the ones who are going to, if we've been quiet all our lives, we've always, let people walk over us because we just didn't use that part of ourselves. Well, it's just energy, people. And I say, if you're doing it for a cause, it will be better for your health to speak up. And I'm talking about, sometimes it's good to get angry about certain things, passionate. It's energy moving, right? If you keep all that inside of you, it can hurt your body and your spirit and your heart. So sometimes a therapist can help, to help you do that better. I took acting classes at age 40 that helped me helped me be able to communicate things that were difficult for me. And then I also used the 12-step programs, which are enormously supportive and helpful and very spiritual. So that's our angel circle for today. Thank you so much for coming. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I'll get back to you. Maybe I'll make this a little longer next time. So thank you, everyone. It's good to see you. And I wish you the very, very best. And this is